In this exercise video, I'm going to be showing you a variation on a lunge exercise where we're going to be doing a mini lunge with rotation. This is great at working on not only strength of the hip muscles and those hip rotators, but also making sure we have good mobility through that range. So it really is great for stretching the piriformis while also strengthening it. So it's a nice 2-for-1 exercise. So for this, we're going to start off by getting ourselves into a lunge position. And as a reminder, you want your lunge position to be that it's nice and wide with your front foot to back foot. So that way, if you were to go all the way to the bottom, you have a 90-degree bend in the front leg and a 90-degree bend in the back leg. And this back knee is directly underneath your hip, and this front knee is directly over top of your ankle. And the distance with width between your feet should be hip width apart. So you don't want to be super narrow, but you also don't want to be super wide. Get that hip width apart. Enough distance between your feet so you can get in that good lunge position if you were to go all the way down. And from the side, that should look like this. Here. So directly underneath me, 90-degree bend at this knee, 90-degree bend at this knee, with my ankle directly underneath that knee. Okay, so this is our setup. Once we're here, first, find your balance, get tall through your spine, engage your core. Pull that belly button in towards your spine. Hold on to something if you really need to for some balance. Otherwise, you can have your hands on your hips, out in front, or wherever they feel comfortable. Now, traditional lunge, you would just be dropping that back knee towards the floor. But what we're going to do instead is we're going to drop the back knee towards the floor, and at the same time, add a little twist towards the front leg with our pelvis, okay? So we're going to drop this knee back down to the floor, let our pelvis rotate, and then come back up. Drop and rotate, and come back up. The key to this is that as you're rotating, this is all coming from the pelvis, not the spine. So we don't want to see this, where it's just your spine rotating. You want to see the spine staying together as you twist and untwist. Okay, so this is all coming from this hip lengthening and stretching. Okay, now you're going to go as low as you can tolerate through that motion. So for most people, you want to start off with just a mini. So maybe you're going 25%. And then gradually getting into 50%. You can work into a full lunge and twist as well. You just got to make sure you're keeping good form, and that motion is only happening from the hip, and this area through your torso is staying moving as one. Obviously, you would switch and do the same thing on the opposite side. Twist and rotate. You want to make sure that when you're doing this exercise that as well as this keeping stable, this front knee is staying stationary. So as you're doing the twist, you want to resist the urge for that knee to go out to the side. You want to keep it where it is as best you can through that motion. If you need some support for balance, like I said, go ahead and hold on to something. So you want to make sure you're doing quality movements and getting the motion and stability down in the right places before you advance to something harder.